The first step to solving a problem is admitting that you have one. We as a community come to the realization that we have a problem. One of the highest high school dropout rates in the state of Oregon.
It's challenging. Mr. Cantor actually spent more money at state.
To change a culture in a community that was built on mills here, it will take a long time. But we have the energy, we have the community behind us, and I believe it can be done. And the needle's starting to move.
I don't think in my 33-year career I have been involved in a community effort that has been as powerful as the Klamath Promise in terms of what it really promises to do for impacting student graduation rates and encouraging students to go on to post-secondary education.
Well, I think the signing of the Declaration is a commitment, and really a shared commitment of a community to gain a collective impact. And I think you really see that happening in this community. I see excitement from very different partners, communities leaders who are really committed to this 100% high school graduation, a newspaper that writes an article every week. So it's a declaration of everybody who's saying we want to commit to this outcome, which is 100% graduation.
And the DOC basically articulates what they will do as part of their commitment, which is really great because it's easy just to talk about what you're going to do, but when you put it down on paper, it makes a different level of commitment happen. So.
One of the other fun things that we're doing is called a partner outreach, and that is going to other businesses and finding other businesses to get involved with this movement and find out, as community business leaders, what can we do to help forward that campaign. The casino is a business partner because it provides funding for particular projects, and as we come forward with, for example, if there's a mentoring project that needs to be done, Clamoya may fund that.
We're very excited about the Klamath Promise. One of our 3 main goals for our youth is high school graduation. We expect all of our youth to go through our program and graduate with a diploma or GED. And we've been very successful at making that happen, so for that to happen on a larger scale throughout the community is very exciting.
This one I particularly liked, personally for that photo, but this was a community organization, a church that's getting involved and trying to give kids a place to go after school where they're working on homework and getting more education and doing fun things with crafts. And when the paper got really heavily involved, we started the Klamath Promise page, which is every Sunday. So I think it started November 3rd. Every Sunday we've had a story relating to education or graduation or how it improves the community. Or sometimes there'll be events going on at the schools that I can relate to. This is how it can help with graduation and education and those kinds of things.
It's more about that, looking at that whole spectrum and seeing if we as a community can help through volunteerism or business support with externships for these kids, or just not taking it out of the schools as the schools are the only place that this can be solved. It actually can be solved much more effectively if the community gets more involved.
Well, next September we're going to, actually we've started the work this spring. We've identified the students that are chronically absent in our middle school and high schools. And we're going to then check on those students the first weeks of school to see who has shown up for those first weeks of school. And any of those students that have not, we've got volunteers from the community that are signing up to go door to door, inviting those students back. So part of it is that campaign to outreach and to invite. The other part of that campaign is to create conditions within the schools so that when they come back, they can be successful and they have an environment that they want to be in.
We're going to be actually going to their door and encouraging them, and a lot of community members are going to be joining in that effort. And I think that's not everything that Klamath Promise is about, but it's a good symbolic piece of what this group is doing, and that is really working to reach out to kids and families and change the culture.
That's how much we care about our students, that we will knock on doors and say, why aren't you in school? Why have you dropped out? What can we do to help? So that's the Klamath Promise, 100% graduation, and that's what we're trying to do.
I want to give a toast to the Klamath Promise, to all of these students, and to 100% graduation from high school.